Hey guys, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner here, and in today's video we are rocking the pink and celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month by making this fun pink ribbon themed card. Let's get started. So here is a close-up of that card we're going to be making today, celebrating breast cancer awareness. I really love how it turned out, using so many of our wonderful shades of pinks right now. And I really do think that the wings kind of do offer a really nice symbol of courage and inspiration to somebody that might be still on their cancer battle. So this set was made using the new Ribbon of Courage stamp set right here. Isn't that just so lovely? I love all the sentiments in this one. And what's really nice is this one can go for any of many causes that use that same ribbon. You can just stamp it in any of those other colors and just kind of a fun other decorative elements. But yes, really awesome set. Available individually. And this, what we're using today, is in the clear, but it's also available in a bundle. There are framelits that actually coordinate with this and punch it out. And let me show you a picture real quick. So it's also available in that as well, the annual catalog. So you can kind of see the framelit. I'll just cut that whole thing out. So if you had like a service project or something you need a lot of ribbons, this is a really good die for you. All right, so besides our awesome stamp set, we're also going to be featuring two Stampin' Up! Colors today. The Flirty Flamingo, which is just one of these really nice bright pink, and the Powder Pink, which they just complement so nicely together. Really like those. And besides that, we're going to be using as our background piece a piece of the Fresh Floral Designer Series paper. Now this is a gorgeous Designer Series paper stack. Comes 40 sheets, 12 by 12, for each of two different double-sided designs, and I cut them so that you could see both sides at the same time. But these are wonderful in colors. So you can see that powder pink right there. There's also the Tranquil Tide, the Berry Burst. So this is a really wonderful paper stack. So you could do this same card in any of our other lovely colors as well. So besides those, we're also going to be using the fine tip glue pen today, just to get those tiny little edges. And we're also going to be using, and I haven't done a video with this yet, the Stamp-A-Majig, which is a really awesome tool for positioning and correct alignment. And you'll see when we get to that part of the video, it will save you so much time. So we're going to definitely be using that today. Now, yet again, our paper colors are that Flirty Flamingo cardstock, our Fresh Floral, and then also a little piece of Whisper White. And the last thing you're going to need is the Detailed Dragonfly Thinlits. Now we're using kind of the larger of the Detailed Dragonfly. And you don't need a huge piece because we're not going to need the tail. We're just going to be trimming those wings off. But you could do the same thing with the smaller dragonfly wings or some of the butterfly wings. A lot of different options to do the wings. So, all right, so let's get started. So for our paper measurements today, get those out here. So we're going to cut our piece of Whisper White at 3 3/4 by 2.5. We're going to cut a piece of that Flirty Flamingo at 4 inches by 2 3/4, and that just lets them sandwich and layer with that nice little edge. And then for our background piece of the Fresh Floral, that is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then we're also going to have our Flirty Flamingo card base as well. Okay. It's got all those measurements. See, it's just going to stack just like that. So you have that nice little flamingo edge. Now we're going to go ahead and take a piece of our Flirty Flamingo and run this through the Big Shot with our Dragonfly Thinlits, like we just mentioned. You don't need a huge piece because you're just going to get the wings. So if you lose the tail, that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim that out and set that aside. So grab my paper snips here. So we don't really need the body for this, so I'm just going to cut and kind of give it a little bit of a curve, just like that, kind of cut off the little sharp points. Just like that. Okay, so now we've got our wing. We'll set those aside. Throw this piece away. So let's move on to stamping our wonderful sentiment. So we're going to grab that piece of Whisper White and go ahead and get our Ribbon of Courage stamp set. So we're going to grab our ribbon, put that on a nice block, and then we're going to grab the powder pink first, so the lighter shade. Let's flip this over here. And we're just going to stamp that background ribbon just straight in the center. So tap, tap, tap. Make sure we got it all there. Straight down in the center. Just like that. I'm going to switch out to our other ribbon here. To the side. And we're going to grab our Flirty Flamingo ink. And our Stamp-A-Majig. So let me move this a little over. More room. So the Stamp-A-Majig. Now this is one of those awesome tools that I just don't use enough. Now it comes with this little black positioning tool and this little piece of plastic. Kind of got a nice soft, smooth side and then kind of a rough side. We're going to use the smooth side. And we're going to take it and stick that corner of that plastic straight into that corner. And just lay it down. Like that. Go ahead and put this one on block. And we're going to ink it up with our Flirty Flamingo. And then going corner of the block to the corner of the positioning tool. Let me move it a little more in camera here. We're going to go straight corner and straight down. I'm just going to stamp onto that plastic and we're going to peel it straight up. And you can see that, and even if it doesn't stamp perfect, you have it on there, you know where it is. So we're going to take our piece of plastic with that image that we want stamped on top, and we are going to lay it on top right where we want it to be stamped. So let me pull this closer to the camera so you can see. Alright, so you can see that detail, and what we're doing is laying it right on top, nice and even, where we want it to be. So it's going to be stamped just perfectly right on top. So once you have it lined up where you want it to be stamped, we're going to stick it back down, just like that. We're going to take the plastic, we're going to take the Stamp-A-Majig and line it up to that corner again. And then we're going to take that plastic off. Now the Stamp-A-Majig and the paper is just where we know it's going to line up with that corner. So we're going to ink it again. And line up that corner to the Stamp-A-Majig and just stamp straight down. And because of that positioning tool, provided nothing moved, because every now and then something moves, but provided nothing moved, you should have a perfect stamp. Check that out. Didn't that turn out wonderfully? Okay, so now we're going to move on to finishing out this card. Put that off to the side. So, love the Stamp-A-Majig. It's one of those things that we buy and just don't use enough. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab our little wings. And you can see, you can really put them anywhere on this ribbon. Let me zoom back in here. Okay, really anywhere on this ribbon. If you want to go up higher, you can. If you want to go down lower. But I just kind of felt that the center was kind of the sweet spot, essentially, for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and take that fine tip fine tip glue. Now this thing is awesome, but you do have to remember to stick that lid back on so that glue doesn't get dried in that tiny little hole. So you do have to thread it back. So we're just going to do a few dots of glue, just kind of on some of those edges. Now you don't have to do the whole thing. This is pretty good glue. I'm just getting some of the spots on the end that are going to be on the paper. And we're going to just line it up, give it a little gentle press. Oh, I moved it. Go. Move on to the other one. And you can curl up the wings if you want them to kind of pop off the card. That works too. Yeah, this is just such a wonderful stamp set. This was designed by one of our $1 million Stampin' Up! Sales demonstrators, Patty Bennett. So I think she did an awesome job. All right. So there we've got our wings on. So now we're just going to go ahead and lay the rest of it together. Now generally I wouldn't use the fine tip glue for just the standard gluing. I tend to use it for fine tip, but I did want to show that you can really use it to glue just about anything, anywhere. It's just got a nice thin line. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Flip and stick that with that, just that tiny edge. And we are almost done. Now we're going to go ahead and grab this piece. Now what's nice is if you prefer the other side, that works too. So many wonderful background paper options. Okay. This one is going to have that little edge around the corner, just like the center. All right, and then we're just going to add that center piece with the ribbon, and we will be done. I do have a few extra projects to share with you guys using this set. So there you have it. Now you can also cut another piece at 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, but that is how you do the front. So let me show you another couple of cards real quick using this awesome stamp set, the Ribbon of Courage. So can see some other fun inspiration. So here's that set again. So another one, very simple. And these were colored with our new blends, which I do plan to do a video on soon. Actually, let me hold it closer. Which I just don't think the video is doing justice on the color of this ink, but I do really love how these turned out. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.